For women only.
A reminder for colleagues, we do not mention members' names directly, we mention them by their constituencies. So David.
Last month's sentencing of Nicola Sturgeon's husband exposed the real reasons behind the Scottish Government's persecution of Alex Salmond. From 2010 to 2022, Peter Murrell abused his position to embezzle almost £500,000 from the SNP to buy luxury items. He used the SNP money to buy £33,000 Volkswagen Golf. Then he stole £57,000 to buy a Jaguar car. Further luxuries included handbags, an £850 gold pendant, 4 separate coffee machines costing £9,000, luxury kitchenware, at least 26 fountain pens costing nearly £21,000, and 2 Dyson £350 Dyson hairdryers for a man with no hair. Really? Then, of course, the infamous £124,000 motorhome. Did Sturgeon not wonder where he got the money for all those vehicles? The kitchenware, the handbags, the pens, the pendants she loved? After all, who used the Dyson hairdryers in that household? My view on her denials is clear. She is lying. She knew full well what her husband was doing and how those luxury purchases were funded. That Murrell was a thief was obvious in the 1980s when he stole from Alex Salmond. Salmond told her it was deeply unwise to keep her husband on as chief executive, but she kept him in place, enabling his crimes for years. Eventually, in March 2021, 3 members of the SNP's Finance Committee withdrew and resigned, blaming chaotic and incompetent financial management. And they were, on their own words, on the receiving end of a hostile backlash driven by Sturgeon's toxic culture. They resigned in protest. Later on, they were followed by the finance director of the treasurer, rather, of the organisation. But Sturgeon told colleagues at the meeting where those first resignations happened, there are no reasons for the people to be concerned about the party's finance. No reason. When the treasurer resigned, she ignored. Sturgeon was part of the cover-up, using a position to suppress justice. She behaved dishonourably and dishonestly. But her most evil act was stitching up Alex Salmond to hide the truth. When he was considering going on the national executive himself, the risk to the conspirators was clear. Here's a numerate man who could not be silenced. So what did they do? In Salmond's own words, there was a malicious and concerted attempt to remove him from public life in Scotland by a range of individuals within the Scottish Government. The senior Scottish Government figures created a procedure for dealing with sexual harassment allegations that deliberately targeted Salmond. That procedure was so biased that a judge ruled it unlawful and tainted by apparent bias. So having lost that, they brought prosecutions against him. But Salmond was acquitted on all charges by a majority female jury before a female judge. It now appears clear that these actions to destroy a man's reputation and life were motivated by a desire to hide their own crime. There are many unresolved questions. What happened with £60,000 of items dropped from the indictment? The hairstylers, the lingerie, the books by Sturgeon's favourite authors. Murrell was clearly protecting Sturgeon by removing items that incriminated her. In the investigation, further questions to Sturgeon, the police had further questions to Sturgeon, but prosecutors stopped them from putting. And those prosecutors worked for the Lord Advocate, the principal legal advisor to the Scottish Government. A clear conflict of interest. There's a clear pattern of secrecy, obstruction, and power used to protect power. A pattern started by Sturgeon. Scotland needs a fresh start. That starts with a judicial inquiry into this entire sordid scandal, because it's a scandal that cost Alex Salmond